Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. I'm bringing you reading for the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. We are going to be doing something a little different this week. We are going to actually be covering an astrologically based reading for all 12 signs for the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. And the reason that is right now we are going through a very powerful time energetically. It's almost kind of like a portal gateway, because there's just truly so much going on right now that is pushing everyone for transformation, everyone for huge changes, everyone for taking some big leaps of faith, you know, going for it, taking a risk, doing those things. And it all actually started with our full moon that we had on Friday, June 9th, and that was the full moon that was in Sagittarius. And boiled down, essentially that full moon was all about it's a time for change. It's a time to take a chance, take a risk, take that leap of faith. So since then, what's been going on with the planets and the transits and everything, everyone has since been pushed to take the time to reflect. There have been secrets revealed. There have been surprises. There has been a lot of time spent evaluating what is it that we desire? What do we want from here? Where do we go from here? What are our next steps? There's also been some evaluations as far as, okay, well, what if I wouldn't have made that choice? Because some, with the evaluating everything, realize, okay, I made the wrong decision. You know, I took the wrong career path, or I chose the wrong person. So there's been a lot of, okay, well, what ifs? What if I would have done this? What if I would have done that? Why did things turn out the way they are? But it really has been a lot of reflection, evaluation, contemplation. That's been necessary. So now as we're heading into this new moon, well, before we hit the new moon on Friday, we're going to have a solstice on the 21st, which is Wednesday. And then right around the corner on Friday the 23rd, and it's Eastern Standard, it's going to be around 10:30 in the around 10:30 in the evening. And it's a new moon in Cancer. And that's on Friday the 23rd. And that new moon, it's going to be intense. Now, you'll find that for some of you, it's not going to be as intense as the past ones, but because of everything that's energetically going on, it's going to be fairly intense for most. And Cancer is all about mothering, nurturing, those, you know, caring. For most, you really need to primarily focus on this time caring for yourself rather than caring for others. It really is a time to do something for yourself. Go get a massage. Go spend time with friends. You know, go do something fun that you enjoy. Take a little, you know, if you can take a day and get away from the office and go do something, but take time to do something for yourself, to nurture yourself, to care for yourself. You will find many of you are going to feel frazzled this week, and everyone has been feeling frazzled since we had the full moon on the 9th. That's because this is a huge push to finally take that leap of faith, to finally step into this transformation, because many of us are giving birth to a new life, a new way of doing things, new relationships, new careers. I mean, this is a huge time of transformation. So that's why you're feeling frazzled. It's because this is the final, it's a big push. So there's going to be, clear up until the new moon, there's going to be some emotional ups and downs. There's going to be some upheavals. You'll also find that this is it's an optimal time to release anything related to mother issues. So if as a child you were very, you know, your mother was very critical of you or criticized you a lot, you'll find that now you are very critical of yourself as an adult. This is an optimal week to have some healing work to release that. Or maybe as a child, maybe your parents were very busy with their careers and the focus wasn't on you, and you felt that you were alone. You felt abandoned. Well, now as an adult, that's left you feeling unloved, unworthy. You don't allow anyone to emotionally get close to you because you're afraid, okay, if I let someone close, they're just going to not be there for me. They're going to abandon me. I'm going to be stuck alone again. This is a week to do related work, release work, healing work related to those issues, particularly if they involved your mother. And this is something for many that, you know, you'll have to recruit the help of a professional healer An energy healer could be someone that does Reiki, could be someone that does quantum touch. For some, you may be able to actually find a meditation online and do that. But this is an optimal time to take care of releasing and healing anything related to mother issues, mother concerns, anything that's impacted you and is still impacting you at this point. What you'll also find with this new moon is the big key piece of it is communication. Communication, communication, communication. That is huge. So for some, you're going to be pushed to finally open up and share some secrets. For some, you're going to have some information shared. But it's all about communicating externally, but it's also big with communicating internally. Because this is a week, this is the time that decisions have to be made. And decisions will be made for many of us. And for some, these are big decisions that you've been putting off for months. So for some, you've been trying to decide which path to go on career-wise or romantically, but you've been putting it off, you've been putting it on hold because you're like, oh gosh, but if I make that decision, my life's going to change. My life as I know it and as I have had it for years is going to be completely changed. Granted, it's for the better, but we're creatures of habit. We don't like change. So you didn't want to have that change. You didn't want to have life change, even though it's good. It's going to bring in everything you've ever wanted. You've still pushed it, kicked it down the line because I'm not ready to have my life truly change just yet. But you will be pushed this week to make that decision. And most people are going to be pushed to make, because for many there has been a big decision that's been lingering for a while, that really has been delayed, that's been put off. You're going to find that this week, particularly up against the new moon, you will be pushed to make that decision regarding this new beginning. For some, it's new beginning in love. For many, it's new beginning in love. For some, it's a new beginning in career. But it's huge, it's big, and this is the time to make a decision. Because by making that decision, you will find that it's going to be successful. You'll find that it's going to be something that's rooted, that has a solid foundation, a solid base, something that will be long-lasting, that can last a lifetime. Because right now is the optimal time to make those decisions regarding personal and professional relationships. Because if you can make those decisions finally, just make the decision, take the leap of faith this week, you're guaranteed success. Because you have all the support from the divine, literally pushing, pulling, and dragging you to make that decision. So be fearless. Make that decision. Know that you are going to have success. It is going to be long-term. It's going to bring you these things that you've been desiring, that you've been wanting, for many of you, that you've been wanting your whole life. Which is why some have been delaying making the decision, because you're like, oh my gosh, I really want this, but boy, it's going to change everything. Everything. But it's going to change it for the better. So I encourage all of you to be fearless, make those decisions. You have a ton of support helping you with that this week. And if you're interested in finding out about the transits and everything that's going on, there's a number of great astrologists that are out there. Some that I really like to follow are Pamela Gregory, Barb Goldsmith, the Leo King, and Kelly Rosano as well. And those are just some that I watch, but go out online, check. There's tons of YouTube videos. There's a lot of greats out there. They have tremendous amount of insight and information. And if you know what's going on astrologically, it really can help you more gracefully navigate through these things. And it can help you also understand why, okay, if you wake up one day and you're very emotional or you are very tired, it'll help you understand why, so that you can just go with it. And if you're tired, take a nap. If you're emotional, let yourself cry. But that way you don't wake up thinking, oh my gosh, something's wrong, what's going on with me? That you can just go with it gracefully. And this is an intense time, but it's good. It's bringing about those hopes, those wishes, those things that we have wanted, that we have been praying for, that we have been doing visualizations for. So this is kind of like a capstone. It's this big final push. So I do wish you all well as you navigate through that. For everyone that's new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. Last I checked, we are at like 9,400 subscribers. So as promised, once we do hit 10,000 subscribers, I am going to randomly select 3 people to do free 15-minute readings for each of them. So if you're new, go on ahead and subscribe, and that will get you eligible to potentially be selected as one of the people who's going to receive a free reading. For all those that have been here for a while, thank you. I do appreciate it. I love all the feedback. I love all the support from everyone. Thank you for everything. let's see, is there anything else before we get started? Because I'm going to do some editing for you guys, so I don't have to restate all of this information over and over again. Okay, well that's it. So we are going to get started, and again, there is going to be a reading for each astrological sign with regards to the week of Monday, June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. For some, you may find that this could possibly extend a week past that, but it's not going to go any further than a week past this time frame. So it really is to help everyone, because it is a pivotal time. It's almost like a big portal gateway that is going to lead to your dreams coming true. It's a big, huge push. There's a lot that has to be done by everyone this week, which is why they want to get these specific messages out for each astrological sign, so you can literally utilize this time, making those changes fearlessly, birthing that new life, that new beginning, that solid foundation, that personal relationship, and for some, the professional relationship of a lifetime that you've been wanting to have, because the time's here and the time is now. And so they're just wanting to provide this additional information to help you with that. Now, for those of you that are interested, the cards that we're going to be using today, I have Doreen Virtue's Saints and Angels, as well as her Fairy Tarot cards. I have the Lover's Path by Chris Waldhair, and the Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. And then I have my Bluebird Lenormands, my Gilded Lenormands, and my Sibylla's, all prayed, shuffled, prepared. If we need any clarifiers along the way, we'll use those as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Capricorn. Okay, let's go ahead and get started and see what's going to be happening for you the week of June 19th through Sunday, June 25th. I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them, asked that each of you receives at least one message to help with your journey. So let's see. Okay. Let's see what they have in store for you this week. As mentioned in the intro, it is a big week of transformation, change, most importantly, decisions. Let me make sure you guys can see those. Okay, perfect. Now, Allie. Okay, so what we have the situation, the recent past, you know, what led to the situation, what you're unaware of, and the recommendations that they have for you this week. Now, the first card is the Princess of Staves, and if you can see here, she's like on this horse. She's ready to charge. She's moving in the direction of the past, and this is all about new ideas, communications, enthusiasm, important communications, needing to listen to inspiration, because you know she's young, she's inexperienced. You know, she might be filled with passion, but there's no experience, and the initial enthusiasm can fizzle out very quickly. So it's as though she's ready to do battle. It's, you know, she's got her hair flowing, she's got this thing on top. It's almost like a helmet with horns. I don't know if you guys can see the horns. And she's, traditional tarot, this would be the wands. And the wand, it has like these thorns, these leaves. So for some of you, you're ready to do battle with someone from the past. And it's very emotionally charged. And it's not been thought through. It's not been fully contemplated. The plan's not been fully developed. And it's really a protection of yourself. For some, it's protection of money. They're showing me this shield. It's almost like a coin. So for some, it's you're going to protect yourself financially against someone from the past. Now the next card we have is the Three of Summer. And at the bottom it says, news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations, or births, friends you cherish. And this is a card that's all about celebration. It's about, you know, weddings, births, you know, pregnancy announcements, just things that you celebrate, things that are joyful. This is water, this is emotions. Some of you actually had an ending of a marriage, ending of a relationship. You can see that the poppies are over here. And for some of you, it was an ending because there was a third party. You see there's these 3 women. So for some, you know, she found out she wasn't the only woman. She found out there was someone else. For some, maybe there were 3 women involved. Player. But you had a relationship with someone and it ended. You see the water is very turbulent. It was a very emotional ending. It was very emotionally taxing. For some, it was cruel. There were very hurtful words said. And they're saying for some, it's like it even ended abruptly. So for some of you, this was a relationship that you knew for a very long time. Should have ended. It wasn't right. It wasn't really working. Motives. People didn't have the right motives in the relationship. They were in it for the wrong reason. So it's almost like for some of you, it's a relationship that just drug on and drug on and drug on. And for some, like when it began years ago, it was a really good relationship. But then it went downhill because it wasn't firmly rooted. It wasn't built on the right foundation. And instead of walking away and moving on, you continued to stay in it. And both parties stayed in it for their own reasons. But it kept dragging out. Because they're saying it was very turbulent and unhappy for a very, very, very long time. And every time it would, and sometimes they're saying like it would even stop, like there would be a break and then you would come back together. But the happiness wasn't there. And for many, the motives for many, it was financially based. But it did finally come to an end. And for some, it came to an end because of a third party. Now, what you're unaware of is you are limitless. And at the bottom it says, recognize this truth, you can do anything you choose. And this card is, you know, actually taking the time to step back so we can look at things from a different perspective. Because, you know, sometimes we can be stuck in a mindset of, okay, there's only one outcome to this situation, and we don't really look at and consider other outcomes. Because we're not really taking a moment to step back and really look at things and assess things. Because we're so worried about controlling things and protecting ourselves that we refuse to look at other options, other paths, other avenues. And for some, this is also about releasing the need to control everything. For some, it's to control others. The card is number 4, and 4 is all about, you know, the angels are assisting you. They're helping you. And it's also a card that talks about things working out as they should. And let me take that off. Keeps hitting the tripod. Now, this is what you're unaware of. You see how there's these 2 swans. Swans mate for life. So for some of you, this is a partner, a spouse, a romantic partner, someone that you have been with for years. But it's like misplaced loyalty. You see how of this pair of swans, she's emerging on her own. So they've been trying to, so what you're unaware is if they've been trying to get you out of this connection, out of this relationship, out of this marriage, out of this partnership for a very long time. They've been trying to have you move away from it. She's by herself, and then she's going to be morphing into this unicorn. Unicorns are magical. They've been trying to, you know, you have all these butterflies. They've been trying to get you to split up from this person. And it's been a long time coming. What you are unaware of is when you finally decide to let this person go, let control of controlling them, let control of, because for a lot of you, it's you're trying to protect yourself. For many, it's trying to protect yourself financially, which is why you're ready to do battle. And for some, it's almost like you don't want that person to be with someone else. You don't want them, But you don't want them to be with anyone else either. It could be the reverse. You know, someone could be like that with you, Cappies. But there's, for some of you, one of the people in the parties, and I get for some of you, it's that other person. You don't want that other person with someone else. But it's time you let them go. You're being guided, and for those of you in this situation, it's not a surprise. You've received a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities. It has not gone well for years. They're saying for many of you, years. And your intentions aren't in the right place. You're not wanting this because this is the love of a lifetime. You're wanting this because this is your foundation. This is what takes care of you. This is what keeps a roof over your head. This is what takes care of you financially. But what you're aware of is when you let that go, when you let that person go, you don't have anything to worry about because you have the support of the angels. They're trying to help lead you into a life that's magical. They're going to lead you into a relationship where it is requited love. So you have these two little fairies up here frolicking together. They're trying to bring you happiness, but you have to let this person go. And then life will become magical for you. Now, as far as what they're recommending, you have two cards. The first one you have is pause. And this is really, it's repeating a similar thing to that, you know, take the time to reflect. Take the time to look at things before you go rushing in out of protection, out of defensive mode. You see how she has those flowers like all drawn up to her, but she's like looking away. So again, for some of you, it's, you don't really want this person, but they are, for a lot of you, they're your finances, they're your stability. But it's not, there's not the love there. And Capricorn, you guys, you're earth-based, you're very career-focused. A lot of you are very, you know, successful with career. So for many of you, you don't want the love, you don't want the relationship, you do want the benefits that come with it. And for some of you, it's the money benefits. And for some of you, see how she's holding those close and she's looking away? They were saying earlier that you don't even want that person. You don't want to be in a relationship with them. You want the benefits they can bring you. For some, it's money. But you also don't want anyone else to have them. Like, I don't want him, but I will be damned if anyone else will have him. And I'll keep him stuck in me stuck. They're trying to get you to break yourself free. You see, again, there's also a butterfly here. It's a blue butterfly. They're trying to transform this. They're trying to bring you someone else, but you have to let that go. And for some of you are just so worried about, how am I going to provide for myself? How am I going to take care of myself? This is what I've always done. I've not been happy in this relationship. You know, he's not been happy. I've not been happy. It's been miserable, but that's all I know. So I'm going to go and fight for it. But it's about actually taking time to think, what do you really want? And be honest with yourself. What do you really want? What do you think is the right thing to do? Don't be confused about what other people want, what that other person wants, or maybe by what family and friends are telling you. But really truly look at it as, okay, what is it that I want? Is this really serving me? And really think through those questions and stuff before you rush into taking some action. That's not good for you or anyone else. But be true to yourself. Be true to what you want. Be true to what you deserve. Because if you're wanting a magical life, it's not with this person. And if you can look at that and you can be honest with yourself, don't allow yourself to be swayed by others, take that time to reflect, really. And they're saying for some of you, open your eyes. See how she's got her eyes closed? So for some of you, you have just been refusing to see the situation for what it is. You've just refused. You look the other way, you close your eyes. You're like, I'm going to hold on with the death grip. But see how it's all dark around her? But I'm just still going to hold on. It's time. They're trying to get you to open your eyes, see things clearly. And also look at your motivations. What's motivating you? What are your intentions? And become clear on that. Become clear on what it is you want. Become clear on the real reasons that you're going for something. What are your true motivations? And then that way your actions will be fueled by honesty, by truth, by love. And for many of you, it's by loving yourself. By loving yourself to know that you do deserve better. Because this relationship has been, they're saying for some of you, it's just been miserable for a very long time. For a very long time. You don't want to keep yourself or anyone else trapped in a loveless relationship where it's not founded on love. Because they're trying to bring you that. And this is safe travel. And this card typically talks about, you know, it's taking a physical trip, how the angels are helping you with that trip. But what they're saying is, you see how he's on his own? He's leaving his own. He's leaving this family unit behind. So for what they're saying is to open your eyes, see the situation for what it is, and let him go. And you can change the sexes for this. You know, it could be male, it could be female. You can switch it accordingly. If it sounds like your story, it's your story. But see here, so for many of you, this is a marriage. This was an ex-spouse, someone that you continue to try and work it out with. For some of you, this was just a partner that you've been with for years. But you built this, you know, their family became your family, yours became theirs. You've held on to them so tight, but you need to let them go. And it's safe for you to do that because they're going to take care of you. And they need you to see that as well. They're going to bring you something magical. Your life is going to transform for the better. But you have to let them go. Let him go. Okay. So real quick. Okay. So we're starting with the Princess of Staves. First one we have is the cross. A cross weaves pain, historically sad. A distance too close means tidings are bad. Suffering increases when the cross is near, but burdens can lift if you persevere. And this is all about a period of suffering, a period of adversity, you know, sacrifices needing to be made in order to turn the situation around for the better. And then we have the dog. And at the top it says, man's best friend, faithful and true. His soul he'd lend in trust to you. A pat on the head delights the old boy and rewards you greater with loyalty and joy. And this is all about a true lasting friendship. But with these two cards around this is it's talking about someone in the relationship that is taking more than what they're giving. So it not being balanced. And for some, again, it's, you know, she's going in with this stick with thorns on it to beat him into submission. Because she needs to receive what he can provide for her. But it's not for love. This isn't the Princess of Cups. It's not for love. The last is birch rod. Birch rod brings strife to what should be bliss. To husband and wife all has gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. And this is all about conflict, disharmony, arguments, quarrels, domestic trouble, stormy friendships, an unhappy relationship, a failing marriage, a failed marriage. So again, you had a relationship with someone and it fell apart because it wasn't requited love. It was the motives were not in the right place. One person was giving more than the other. And it fell apart. And for some, it became very ugly. Okay, let's do Three of Summer. Okay, the first card is the Bear. And it says, brawny and bold, here is the bear. Your financial positions, you should be aware. Spend your resources with wisdom and care. Use your power to be strong and fair. And this is all about asserting yourself to protect your interests. It can also speak of people who are very overbearing. And, you know, to avoid people who are overbearing. Now, the next card is, this principal card shows a man tried and true. Held high in regard, he tells fortunes for you. And upon your behest, if the cards are read well, the worst and the best the cards will foretell. When it comes to Lenormand's, it's about the cards, of course they all have individual meanings, but it's really, it plays in what cards are to the right and what cards are to the left. And we'll cover what the three of these mean here in a moment. They're not pretty though. We don't have pretty cards to the right and the left. You have the Coffin. Illness is known, sickness is near. Fate has its own ending to fear. You lose your money, all hopeless to you. And what is the saddest? Okay, I'm going to turn away from you guys because I can't read with the glare. And what is the saddest your courage fails to? And this card is all about sickness, loss of money, loss of courage, the inability to overcome problems, the inability to overcome trials and tribulations, the ending. And they're also saying it's a lack of wisdom, because owls represent wisdom, and you have this owl on this coffin. And hopefully you guys can see that right there. So what led to this situation was the relationship with a man that ended. But the relationship was founded on financial gain. It wasn't founded on love. There's not the heart. You know, this would be beautiful if it was the heart, if it was the ring, but it wasn't founded on love. It was founded on finances. And one of the two in the relationship, which for many it's the female, was very, and even here it's the female, she's very angry. She's got this wand, she's just got this big stick that she's about to go in and aggressively protect what's hers. Beat. For some, they're saying like beat him down. Like there have been such cruel words that some of the person, the benefactor, for many it's a man, has been beat down verbally, torn down verbally, only to continue to benefit. And for many, it's financially, but that has come to an ending. That has ended. But you're trying to go back in and reinvigorate, get it going again. You're trying to bring him back in. Now, as far as, we're going to skip that one, as far as what to do, the first one you have is book. The unopened book weaves stories concealed. When pages are read, the truth is revealed. The book guards tales of inner wisdom, inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep devotion. So for some of you, wisdom's important. You know, they were saying your eyes are closed. Have the wisdom to open up and see things for what they are. And this is all about secrets. And then we have the tree. Hopefully you can see that. One tree from earth is best to see. It springs from birth, good health for thee. And if the tree should reappear close to the corner, your goal is near. And the tree is all about foundations, what we're rooted in, family foundations. But it really is it rooted on a solid foundation or a rocky foundation? And this hasn't been rooted on a solid foundation. You see how this tree is like built up on rocks and it's on a cliff? It's not meant to stand the test of time. It's meant to fall. For many, it was a lesson. It was to help you grow. It was help them grow. And it was a step to help your transformation, to help you transform your life into something magical, not meant to be held on to. And it's time that you make the decision. The time has come, because we have the road. A road in the open reveals the best way. Choose wisely your path to avoid any dismay. Follow your dreams with faith and precision. All will be clear once you've made your decision. And this really is all about making those important decisions. The time has come. And it's also making an alternative decision. Because for many of you in this situation, you have repeatedly pulled this person back in. Because they're saying for some of you, it has ended before in the past. But you've continued to bring him in. You've continued to cling on and hold tightly to him. But they're trying to bring both of you a better life, so you have to let him go. And the time has come to make that decision. Because they're saying for some of you, things actually ended with this person earlier this spring, so earlier this year. So for some, anywhere between January and many of you in February, and then some of you in March, is when it ended. And you've been trying to pull them back in, but you have to make the final decision to let them go. And that's what they're trying to encourage you to do this week, because if you can do that, you don't realize it, but your life is going to become magical. You are going to be taken care of. You are going to have everything that you need. They're just trying. They're trying to get you there. And it all stems with you making a decision. So hopefully you are able to do that this week, Capricorn. You do have all sorts of divine support assisting you with that. Hopefully you can open up to that assistance and let go of the person that is not meant for you, so that you can have something beautiful come in. And for many of you, you are going to get a love that's a true love, that is a requited love, that is built on a solid foundation. So I do wish you all an amazing week filled with lots of love, joy, and blessings.